A very warm welcome to all those who have signed in. And we are waiting for more learners, inquisitive question makers, comment seekers, people who want to know more about the future of HR, people who want to know about what is it going to be when we go back to work. This 1 hour is going to take you to those answers that you're seeking. With us, we have Mr. Amit Das. But even before that, while we are waiting for others to log in, a very, very happy Gudi Padwa, which is Marathi New Year. Gudi Padwa is celebrated as the first day of the year by Maharashtrians and Konkanis. On this day, what happens is, this is the cycle of 60 years starts, and all 60 Samvatsara, who are which is basically the significance of Gudi Padwa, are identified by unique name. This year, Gudi Padwa will be celebrated on Saturday, which is today, and it is a festivity which is observed in regions around Maharashtra on the first day of Hindu lunar solar calendar month of Chaitra. So people in Bengal, we are looking forward to your Poila Boishakh as well, which is coming up in the next fortnight. And the first day of the month is earmarked by Gudi Padwa, which is the new year for Maharashtrians. With that, we start today's session. We have almost 12 people who have logged in. And I'm being a little greedy because we have an amazing leader with us. And I would not want to negotiate a minute here without him being there on the dais and giving us his profound knowledge of HR. So good afternoon and a warm welcome to all our guests for attending today's HR Speak episode 10 of season 4 with Amit Das, Director HR and CHRO, Bennett Coleman Company Limited. We all know that as the Times Group. He's a seasoned HR professional. Amit Das has over 30 years of experience of working in senior leadership roles at various professionally managed large MNCs and reputed Indian organizations across diverse business sectors, namely Tata Motors, CESC Limited, ITW Signode, Britannia Industries Limited, Taj Group of Hotels, Vodafone, RPG Group, and Reliance Group. He has effectively built and led extensive HR teams, managing the overall responsibility of the HR function in the context of integration of HR with business strategies to facilitate simultaneous growth of human and business capital globally. Amit's significant part of the experience has been in organization transformation, growth strategy, and globalization of initiatives. An alumnus of the Kellogg's Business of School of Management, Amit currently holds the position of Director HR and CHRO with the Times Group. He is responsible of overall human capital management of the Times Group business entities, which is one of India's most diversified and profitable media conglomerate with power brands across print and publishing, television, internet, radio, and outdoor domains. The flagship brand, The Times of India, is the world's largest circulating English daily, and the Economic Times is the world's second largest circulating English business daily. A regular speaker at reputed HR forums, colleges, and management institutes, Amit, an avid reader and fitness enthusiast, strongly believes that knowledge grows only when shared, and it is important to learn something new every day, as it caters not only to your inherent learning agility, but enriches and engages the audience. Recognized and rewarded for professional contributions by several organizations and management associations across the globe, Amit is one of the most prominent and respected global HR leaders across industries and sectors. He is a part of the advisory board and is a governing council member in several reputed corporate and educational institutions across the globe. A globetrotter, Amit understands and integrates multiple cultural diversity, and that's what sets him apart from others. So, without any second delayed from here on, I hand over the dais to Mr. Das, sir. A very warm welcome from NHRD Kolkata Chapter, and we are privileged for this entire enlightening 1 hour that we have with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sweata, and thanks so much for the nice introduction. And I'm delighted to be here for one more session of NHRD, and this time for the NHRD Calcutta chapter. I look forward for an engaging, meaningful conversation for the next 40 minutes or so with you. And I'm sure I'll be at the mercy of your questions, whatever you'd like to shoot at me. And I'll be most happy to share my perspectives and thoughts for all of you who are watching this session. Over to you, Sweata.
I'm so sure that there's a lot that we are going to take back in today's learning hour. And it's not just that it's from the experience, but there are so many thoughts that are cropping up in our mind when on the 2nd of April, we in the western part of the country are already experiencing back to usual business at our corporate offices. There's a lot that is going on in the environment and ecosystem of business and work. So now that organizations are moving back to work, what according to you is one of the big change that we will be expecting at workplaces?
See, the way I look at it is that first, let me talk about some of the few emerging trends that I see or foresee that's happening at the workplace going forward, which in my mind will become the new norm. So number one, we see that the Gen Z or the new age workforce of today, who are primarily digital natives, they have already started entering the workforce, and they will continuously disrupt the status quo that we all see or got used to. Now, the HR technology, that will be leveraged more and more on effective management of flexible and remote work schedules, leading to more of work-life integration, much beyond work-life balance that we have been talking about for so many decades. More of work-life integration enabled by the right remote HR technology. More investments will happen on tech-based platforms to drive employee engagement, well-being, inclusivity. We'll also have a flexible workforce on multiple assignments in a gig economy, which is emerging in a big time manner. Also, what I foresee is a human capital re-engineering, which will gain more and more momentum to optimize the outcome due to enhanced collaboration of man and machine, which will drastically change the workplace environment. So the most critical shift post the COVID pandemic, in my mind, is a mindset shift. We have moved from a mindset of, can we do this in person, to now asking, do we need to do this in person? So this would mean a majority of our interactions with all stakeholders around us will move mostly to a virtual mode. And workplace will be replaced by what I say, my space. That will be any space that allows 24/7 access and connectivity. So while we already have many co-working models today, but what I foresee happening is an Uberization of workplace, where employees will have to just use an app to locate the nearest workplace as per their convenience, to just walk in, plug and play. So we all know that the pandemic has accelerated the future of reimagined workplace. So it has brought to us an unexpected shift to the traditional workplace that we have got all used to up to a certain point of time. We all realize that work is not somewhere you go, but something you do. This is the most important. So in the new normal, the companies are seeking to restore stability, but this calls for a transformation in the workplace design. And if we have to look at the considerations relating to health, safety, operational flexibility, those are entering the big picture. I think it's a new paradigm that's being needed at the workplace. So the work, I find, is becoming more and more modular. They are broken into small packets being framed out by companies who will act like platforms that synthesize and orchestrate these modular packets to make those products and services. Work will increasingly get disconnected from jobs and companies. Some jobs will be done by machines, some will be requiring physical proximity. Some can be managed remotely, as you have already started doing that, or some work can be farmed out from anywhere by anyone, which can be carried out by diverse groups of people by driving a high degree of workforce inclusivity. It's very, very critical that this is a paradigm shift that we are observing and which we will see more and more getting momentum going forward. But while we transition into a hybrid work arrangement with remote working and work from anywhere, okay, so these are new ways of managing the work. And there'll be a paradigm shift in not only work, but in workplace and workforce as well. But we have to be conscious about certain fundamental aspects, the way our human mind works, our brain works. Our human brains, they trigger release of certain happy hormones, which you are aware of, based on certain stimulus of different senses like touch, feel, smell, hearing, etc. While in a remote working or virtual environment, we may be able to simulate that physical environment which we are used to in an office environment, but we can't replicate that physical workplace environment. So this, in my mind, might have its impact on the sense of belongingness and associated engagement challenges. So I think the total wellness quotient of our workforce will become our priority that will focus on on balancing that mind, body, and soul. Now, if you see, we have been hearing about this new normal, this phygital workplace, and this hybrid work for last maybe 20, 24 months. So when we look at the larger picture, I believe that we are moving towards a future where the metaverse will be very strong and important pillar in our way of working and interacting with each other, whether it is in our workplace or in our personal lives. So while this is a change that we may not witness immediately in the next couple of months, but I'm sure that we'll move at an extremely fast pace towards this future reality. The remote working will drastically reduce social interaction. It will lead to complicated work-life dynamics, causing deterioration of mental health at times. So this will lead to drop in psychological capital, which refers to positive emotions, engagement, promoting collaboration, and which is said to have an impact on attitudes, behaviors, performance, and also employee well-being. So in the new world of business, in my mind, when employees will work remotely and physically away from rest of their colleagues, I think organizations also need to recreate those employee experiences across all employee lifecycle touchpoints, which are relevant in a virtual environment and which can provide those high moments of truth, and also which are hyper customized to the specific unique needs of the individuals.
Thank you so much for that, sir. And what I echo with you is how important it is now to balance the paradigm between soul set, mindset, ecosystem, and along with that, people and technology. So a little bit more on what is going to be the role of technology in the new work culture.
See, technology is something which is not something which we have been talking about now. Workplace has been digital for quite some time back. Okay, it's a digital disruptions have transformed the way we do business, where technology has been leveraged as a force multiplier to scale up both human intelligence and productivity. We all know that the biggest barrier for any transformation, for that matter, is the